Hi guys, the last time you saw the RC200 on our channel was we were at the Bajaj's Chakan test track riding this motorcycle. Today we are riding it on the road. We are done with it. We have a very nice impression, and after doing the Bombay Pune run and everyday shows here in Bombay, it's now time to send it back. But before that, we like to sum it up what our impressions are on the road with the RC200. It was very promising when we rode it first at the test track. We've explained in absolute detail what the changes were, so if you're finding this video for the first time, I suggest you go and see our track video first, because that had every single detail covered of how and what changes are done to the RC200 over the previous version, and there are a lot. I'm still going to cover some of them but not all of them, because we're going to keep it brief. We're going to keep it to the road aspect of this road test here, and just look at this motorcycle in the real light and in real conditions. It looks great. This silver and orange color is surprisingly grabbing a lot of attention than I expected. This shape is pretty much familiar on the road, but still, despite that, it's been grabbing a lot of attention. Of course, the silhouette is similar, but the shape and the fairing panels are all new, which we told you about, makes the motorcycle look a lot more new, lot more nicer and better. It may not be pretty to some people's eyes, but I think it looks nice, and it will gel well over the time, and it will grow on you basically. These are the LED headlamps, and I can tell you that these LED headlamps are fantastic. One stays on all the time, so that's the low beam, and due to the HO, and there are of course these LED DRLs as well, which also stay on, and these are the indicators. Let me just start it up for you. As you can see, it's really flush, and the flush, the way they sit here, it's fantastic. The lights are very good. The illumination and spread is pretty much great. I expect the illumination, I expected the illumination to be slightly better, and I think that is going to be a bit of a concern in the rains, because usually white LED lights don't do really well in the rains, and the illumination here could have been better to negate the rain criteria, but nevertheless, most of the time it should be fine. The spread and the illumination is in dry conditions right now is really impressive. We were blown away with how far the spread also goes, so that's also really good. Ergonomics, while riding in the city, what we noticed is that the seat has gone up, but since it is slightly slimmer and you can grab the tank really well, the seat height is going to be a bit of an issue for people, let's say around 5'1", 5'2", but after that, everybody should be fine with this motorcycle. The seats are done really well. They are really comfortable. We had all sorts of pain while riding it from Pune to Mumbai, which includes the neck and slightly bit of the back, but there was very little wrist pain and very little discomfort from the seat. So I think KTM has done a great job in getting the seat right. Even the seat for the passenger that we tested here shows very good signs of improvement, and the grab rail, as you can see here, makes it grab, and makes it quite practical. Of course, you can't carry a pillion all day and go out on a big long trip. It's only meant for everyday here and there uses. What we also noticed is of course the riding part, and let's get to the engine. The engine is super smooth. I can't believe this is a KTM RC200 engine. It just feels so smooth, so refined. What particularly I feel is that the flywheel has been lightened to a very large extent, so it just feels so much more linear. The way it revs is also much more smoother. The fueling has also been taken care of, but I think it revs the same way it did, but the gearing also is slightly taller than before. I think KTM did say that they've not messed up with the gearing a bit, but when the engine is so smooth, you don't even realize over the previous version that the franticness of the fueling and the gearing and everything just made it a wild animal altogether. But this one is so good. It revs so quickly and revs so cleanly and swiftly that you will absolutely love this motorcycle, and you will be doing speeds much more than you think you are doing. And that is the best part, because you can live with this motorcycle on a daily basis. We didn't find any heating. The clutch was light. The gearbox is very smooth. Clutchless upshifts and downshifts are also not a problem. What we also think is the refinement levels have gone through the roof. Even if we are redlining in first 4 gears, there was hardly any vibration with gloves, without gloves, and so I think that's a great move by KTM, getting a refinement spot on. I don't think there's any issue in the engine. In fact, the fuel efficiency is also gone up slightly, because what we're seeing here is that we've gotten almost 36 kilometers to the liter in an everyday riding situation, and I think that's fantastic. Even if you get a real world range of 32, 33 tank to tank, I think that's a spectacular number for a motorcycle which performs as good as this. What has also impressed us is two things more to the list is the ride quality and the handling. Let's discuss the ride quality because KTM said that they've done some work in the dampers at the front and at the back, and that shows it's truly magical because the ride quality is really really good. I think and we know for a fact that a heavier rider like me and a lighter rider, which is my both of my colleagues, they said the ride quality has become much more better than before. It feels much more pliant, it feels much more better, but at the same time the chassis confidence is really really amazing. It almost feels magical in the way ride quality is done and the way handling is done, because it has been lightened up significantly through the wheels and other aspects and the sprocket, and it feels extremely light. At the same time it feels extremely confident while doing everything. The turn in is almost telepathic, and you just turn in and it goes, and there's so much grip on offer. You'll be surprised that you can lean it even more and more and more. Of course, at the track we said that the tires were not up to the mark, and track is somewhere where we would really be able to push it, but it's only the side profile that needed some work. Most of the time, which you are not going to reach on the roads, it's going to be great. But if you can get a set of Apollo tires, sticky ones, you will have a lot of fun. Trust me, if you can swap them, that will be a lot more fun than this already impressive stock motorcycle. Let's also talk about the brakes. While there is a lot of power, a lot of performance from the brakes, it stops on the dime, and it could have used a bit more power, slightly bit more power, because that's what you expect from a KTM. And the initial bite also could have been better, because the bite just feels very computerish at the front lever, and I think that could have been better. KTM needs to get a sportier setup in the front master cylinder, brake lever, and probably a better, more powerful caliper, so that it just feels much more sportier. The RC200 is one of their most important motorcycles, and now it's just become much more better. I always said that the 250 would make more sense as an RC than the 200 because of the short gearing and the frantic fueling that it had, but now I think I have to take my words back, and that's a very very rare thing that has happened in all these years of testing, is that the 200 now feels so much better on the track, so much better on the road, that I don't feel we need an RC250 anymore because of the tall gearing that 250 offers over the 200. I think this just got better somehow. KTM got it right. They've done small tweaks almost everywhere to make this motorcycle really impressive, and that's actually a feat. Really a commendable job by KTM and KTM India, getting everything so right in the riding experience that there's hardly anything left to complain, because the handling is spot on, everything else is fantastic. Right from the practicality aspect to the riding aspect, everything is going to be just pure fun, and everybody who's going to upgrade or in fact change from the old previous RC200s to this one, if they do, they're still going to feel a massive difference, and it will be worth the exchange. But sadly a lot of people don't do that, but if they manage to do this, they will be still very happy for the next coming years, because the RC200 has a lot of change, and in fact the prices have also not gone up by a big margin over the previous last price of the KTM RC200. So there was an incremental increase of, let's say, around 500 rupees. The prices are set to go up in January, February. So I think if you can still book it in January 2022 right now, you will be getting a steal, because this motorcycle has just become so much more value, so much more fun, and so good that it's just boggled our mind how good it is on the road. It's performed really well and surpassed our expectations. That's the best part we've come across in a very long time while road testing a motorcycle. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure you like and share this video with your friends. If you have some questions, put them in the comment section. We'll be happy to answer it. And I'll see you in the next video. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook for everyday updates. Until then, goodbye.